Today is Tuesday, August 1st, 2023. This is the City of Somerton regular council meeting. Call to the order.
Pledge, please.
Huh? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I was going by the numbers, so please join me for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now, Council.
Mayor Gerardo Anaya,
Present.
Vice Mayor Jesus Roldan,
Present.
Councilmember Luis Galindo,
Present.
Councilmember Miguel Villalpando,
Present.
Councilmember Juan Castillo,
Present.
Councilmember Marta Gonzalez,
Present.
Councilmember Lorena Delgadillo,
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. How about call to the public if anyone is would like to-
Wesley Lohr.
Okay.
You want me to repeat everything?
Yes, please.
Hi,
if you
sorry.
can.
Yes, my name is Wes Lord and my address is 4169 East Olivios Drive, San Luis, Arizona. I'm not trying to sell anything, I promise. I have a website for the community. It's completely free, no ads, you don't got to sign up. And what it's like a one-stop shop for all the communities in Yuma, including Welton, Somerton, San Luis, and Yuma. And what it is, it puts all their community resource supports, upcoming events in one spot. It's a simple email. I'm doing it myself on my own. But it's, for instance, in the newspaper, it talked about free diapers. That's on there now. So I'm trying to get as many resources as I can. So please pass this along. I have cards. So I just wanted to pass this on to. There's mental health supports. I know you have there's food bank. There's like housing. There's the crisis line. It's just a bunch of information. So there's an email address I would like for if anybody wants to add their community support that I'm probably missing a bunch. I know we have a lot. I do have like for the upcoming events, I have the Somerton, I have all the cities, but I do have the Somerton event page. So anybody in the community can go in there and see what's upcoming. And again, I have some information as well for any upcoming events as well. So thank you for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
We have anyone else on there?
No, no one else.
We move to consent agenda. Any other council would like to remove an item for discussion? If not, please.
Vice Mayor,
Yes.
I have some questions on the check register, so if you can remove check registers.
Okay. Anybody else? So I'm going to remove item 5.1 for discussion. Any motion to approve the rest? A motion by Councilwoman Delgadillo. Second by Councilmember Galindo. All is in favor?
Aye.
All against? So let's open item 5.1, check register for the month of May and June of 2023.
I had some questions on some specifically these two, but I went all the way back to like February. There's a few payments for social demics. If we can find out who this is, it's a total payment from February to June. I just went back until February. I don't know if it's, even before that. It's $7,015. And then also there's Dell Marketing. And maybe you guys have told us before, but it didn't ring a bell. On the check register for May, there's a payment of $33.82. 66, but again, I went all the way back to February, and just in the month of March, there's payments totaling 22,000. So, I wanted to know, being that we have a marketing team.
Vice Mayor, if I may,
Go ahead.
I know that the Parks and Rec Director isn't here. She could give a little bit more information. I know they were reaching out with social demics. They focus a little bit more on geofencing, our events and some other things. But I can definitely follow up with the Parks and Rec Director to get more information. I know that they've been using social demics for the different special events, just focusing a little bit more on the unique social media promotions. So
And that's my question. We have a marketing team and we've had, specifically for social media. So that was my question. Why are we outsourcing and paying this amount of money when, again, we have a marketing team? So that was mainly like my concern.
and I can follow up with, like I said, the director and provide that information to Mayor and Council. On the Dell marketing, we'll definitely get back to you on the breakdown for that also.
Thank you.
To make a motion on. We need a motion to approve 5.1, George, or?
I make a motion to approve the checklist as stated at the consent agenda with correction or the explanation of what Councilwoman said.
First by Councilwoman Delgadillo,
Second.
second by Councilwoman Gonzalez. All in favor?
Aye.
Against?
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. We have presentation and discussion by the Somerton School District number 11 related to all schools within the district, new schools in operation, enrollment, and future growth.
Hello,
Afternoon.
it's good to see you this evening. I believe the mayor's offline
Yes.
and vice mayor and the council members. Thank you so much for letting me come and share with you today. This is a good time for you to ask any questions, okay? But I got some numbers for you because I thought maybe you'd like some numbers.
If you can just introduce yourself and
Oh, I'm
your
sorry.
position.
My name is Dr. Laura Noel. I am the superintendent at Somerton School District. Good. And so today was the first day of school. We have enrolled as of today 3,015 students. I wanted to show you, I gave you a handout there to show you each school, the number of students we have enrolled at each school in the total. So you can see kind of a comparison of the schools and their sizes. You can see that our two new schools, the BTS, Brave T Soto School, and SVS Sun Valley School are the smaller ones. They're not smaller because they're new. They're smaller because that's all we could get the SFB to build us. But what we did is when we made the drawings and planned that build, we planned for the expansion also. So we have space there to expand those buildings. So I just thought that you might like to see the different schools and the sizes that they are. Do you notice how similar TDS and SMS are in size? Very similar in size. We have left room at TDS so that there's room for growth there with the new housing that's coming in and being filled in over on the corner there of Somerton. So there is room for that to fill as that fills in. I thought you also might be interested in that map. Are you looking at the map? That's a map of school districts because a lot of times people in our community get confused why Somerton is building a school out in San Luis. It's the east side of San Luis there, right by the commercial port of entry. And so I thought you might like to see the Somerton School District is on the north side of Gadsden School District and then goes all the way down to the border. And so on Gadsden School District, you can see the relative size and you can see the other school districts kind of around it. I just went online and pulled that map off. So if you want to explore the different sizes of school districts in our areas, you can do the same thing. Just thought you might find it interesting. So we're Somerton School District, but we are going to be building schools in San Luis, the east side of San Luis, which makes me want to thank you for the cooperation of your staff here in Somerton. It has been wonderful building Brave T Soto School. We had so much cooperation Not that everybody told us yes all the time, but they spoke to us honestly and quickly right away. Let us know what it was that needed to be done. We would do it and then they come and check it again. And I just thank you, all of you who did that. Thank you so much, because we were able to get that school open very quickly. And we also have had cooperation with the San Luis officials, but it's been a little harder coming because it feels so awkward to have Somerton School District building schools out in San Luis. So it took a while for us to explain the map and explain how, no, we're not sneaking in on Gadsden School District. This is actually our district. And in fact, there are still, I was talking to Lizette, the superintendent at Gadsden, and she was saying that there are still over 800 students coming from that area into Gadsden School District because they don't have, and we don't have enough schools in that area. And that's with the 245, 47 that we have attending right now as of today in SVS. So there are a lot more kids there. We are also busing kids from that area up to Orange Grove, and we have a bunch that we're busing up to the middle school from that area. And even with that, there's still, we think 800 to 1,000 students that are coming in under open enrollment over to Gadsden School District. So if you ever want to understand the fiscal piece of that, I'd be happy to explain it to you. But let me give you the general version. School districts are funded based on our per pupil amount. So for every student, you get a certain amount of money. But the capital side, the side that supports construction, that side of money comes from the students that are in the taxpayers that are in your school district. So the taxpayers all the way down into the east side of San Luis, they're supporting the capital needs of Somerton School District. So Gadsden School District, why when they take those students in, they can get extra money because they get the money per head per pupil, but they don't get the capital funding for those students. So it becomes a real problem. We all have students under open enrollment. We have 5 from Gadsden District that live in Gadsden District. We have 3 from Crane or 2 from Yuma L that come, few under open enrollment, and that works out great. But when you have 800, that's really quite a burden on facilities for them. So it's kind of a tricky kind of thing that we're doing there. We want to thank you for participating with us in our police officers and our school resource officers. We have 2 from Somerton PD that are SROs for us, and we have 1 from the Sheriff's Department. We were able to get a grant to fund some positions, and Chief Juarez has worked really close with us so that we could get that done. We have a 3-year grant funding for that, 3 years. Counselors, we have 5 counselors in our district. 3 are grant funded for another year. After this year, there's 2 that we don't have funding for, so we're hoping to find funding for those 2 to continue. For the other 3, though, we have a couple years of grant funding for those positions. The combination of having school resource officers and counselors is a real benefit for our kids. We also have nurses. We have 1 registered nurse, which allows us to do several programs like a stock medication so that we can keep certain medications at the schools that we wouldn't normally be able to keep if we didn't have an actual registered nurse with us, and that is grant funded. We have regular like health aid level of school nurses at each of the schools, and that's being supervised by a registered nurse who then can do the instruction or help with more severe things. We have 9 international teachers. And we've got 9 people from other countries. We have Colombia, Jamaica, the Philippines, and Mexico. If you have any housing available, if you know where there's housing, we're always looking for resources for these international teachers. We would be happy to, our HR department would love to hear if you have any suggestions about connections they can get into, because we're always trying to get them connected with the community here. We are continually to actively recruiting and teachers, aides, custodians. We've always got some opening coming up. It's just a few at a time, but we would really love to participate in any kind of job fair, anything like that, or any place that you're advertising for jobs available for community members. We would love to be a part of that. And Esperanza Rodriguez would be happy. She's our HR director and be happy to coordinate anything like that. So then the last thing I wanted to tell you is we need more money because we need to build more schools. And the State Facilities Board funds schools only if the students are present. So we tell them, well, we can give you the names and the addresses of the students that are present there, but they're not attending our school. We've got this many at Orange Grove and we've got this many at SVS and the rest are riding a bus or being dropped off in Gadsden School District. And Gadsden even lists those students for the School Facilities Board. But they won't fund those students because they're not in our school. But how do we put them in a school when the school is full of students? And so that's the dilemma we're in with the School Facilities Board. We're having that discussion now. We ended up having to go to the state legislature 2 years ago to get the funding that we do have. Last year, when I applied for the funding for these students, because I would have liked to already been under construction, they wouldn't do it because the numbers weren't actually there yet. So this year we'll do the same thing again. We already have land to build. We have 10 acres on D1/2 over near the commercial port of entry and 24th Street and D1/2, that area. And we have 10 acres there that we own. It was donated to us so we can build a school on there right now if SFB gave us the money. We are expanding Sun Valley School. We would like to eventually expand Bravey T. Soto, but right now Sun Valley School is our priority because we have students we can't serve there. And so we're going to use our own money, go as far as we can, which might not be very far, but it'll be something. And then keep soliciting the School Facilities Board to provide us funding for those classrooms. And we're ready to build the next school. So I'll be applying to School Facilities Board this year for the funding for the next school over on D1/2 and 24th Street. There is state trust land in that area. And I heard rumors that there's, not rumors, I heard from a developer that they're planning to donate land for more schools down there. So if that all happens, that'll really help us in making our case to getting School Facilities Board to build it. High school needs a high school out there. They need to have a high school for that area. We'd like to have a middle school and at least one more, probably 2 more elementary schools in that section. So any questions? Well, you know where I'm at. Come and ask me if you have questions. I don't always know the answers, but I'll tell you what I do know or what I don't know. So thank you so much for working with us, and your staff is really great. They've really been great to work with. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and thank you for the updates.
Yeah, yes,
Thank you very much.
thank you. Okay.
Moving to new business. Discussion and possible action to award the contract to Yuma Valley Contractors, the lowest responsible bidder for the construction of the new 1.25 million gallon water tank project in the amount of $2,634,486.27. Charles.
Mr. Mayor, Council, good evening. Tonight, again, we're going to discuss and possible consideration of the award of the lowest responsible bidder for the new 1.25 million gallon water tank project. Invitation to the bid for the construction of the above mentioned project was advertised in the Yuma Daily Sun. The design work and specifications were prepared by James Davy and Associates with 2 bid alternatives. Alternative 1 was a 1.25 million gallon steel water tank. Alternative 2 was a 1.25 million gallon water tank concrete tank. The project contemplates the construction of the new water tank on existing public works yard as indicated on the water master plan. The east solar panels will be removed as part of the project. Currently, on Friday, July 14th, 2023, we opened 3 sealed bids. Staff reviewed and analyzed the bid submittals. The results are attached in the bid tabulations record. The lowest bidder for both alternatives was Yuma Valley Contractors with a bid amount of $2,634,486.27 for alternative number 1 steel tank and $3,119,301.14 for alternative number 2 concrete tank. The engineer's cost estimate was is $1,887,534. Tonight, we're asking for the city council to award bid alternative number 1 steel tank to Yuma Valley Contractors with a bid amount of $2,634,486.27 for the construction of the new 1.25 million gallon water tank project. Currently, we have $2 million budgeted of ARPA. The city also has the budget capacity with a couple options. Being that we did not look at the roundabout on the Parkview option, we could utilize portions of those monies to offset the $600,000. Also, looking at impact and general fund monies too.
Louis, question, how much was the money that was not used for the roundabout?
There were around if I'm correct, it was about 436,000 around that number.
So we need to come out with other 200. either,
Right. And so like Charles mentioned, we can look at impact fees or looking at, general fund and reallocating some monies. Vice Mayor, what we'd like to do is be able to look at those impact fees, the amounts, and we know that we have that budget capacity with the roundabout, come back to council on just providing approval of how those funds, for where those funds will be used. But we would like approval to move forward the project. It's a very needed project.
Any questions?
I have a question. When did we realize we needed the other tank? Because normally for the wastewater, I know when it reaches like 70 or 60% capacity, they'll let us know so we can start saving money for that. Because if I'm not wrong, a couple of years ago, we reconstructed the other one. So I don't understand why suddenly we need another tank, and how long is this gonna, for capacity for how long? For 10 years, 1 year, the population depends, or?
So Mr. Mayor, or Mr. Vice Mayor, council member, so according to the water master plan that was done a few years back, it dictated that it needed that because at that time we were nearing capacity. And right now we are at almost 100% capacity. So with the water master plan, that basically told us when we need to do it. And we're at that time right now.
Vice Mayor, if I may.
Go ahead.
And this was something that has been planned, really, the average in the wintertime, I believe when I spoke to Leo, the water supervisor, it was about 1.8. In the summer, it actually reaches over the 2 million mark. So this is something that's been in the works. We're fortunate that this funding is available to be able to get this, but in the last couple of years, it has been running pretty close to capacity. And usually when you're about 80%, that's when you start planning for the new tank. And so they were at that point. Fortunately, this funding was came about that we were able to go ahead and move on it. Now, the amount of usage future is all going to depend on development. So it's kind of, as development comes, we'll look at it. But this should, we're hoping this should be good for the next 10 years, maybe even 20. It all depends on what type of development comes in, houses, commercial, industrial. So it'll be based on that, but we should be good for a while.
And one more question, thank you. You mentioned one is stainless steel and the other one is cement. I know the price is a million difference. So which one is better? Which one, or is there any?
Well, we were hoping that we were going to get a concrete tank, but concrete prices have gone up considerably. So we're going to go with the alternative number 1. Is it any better? Word's still out. Nobody in town except for YPG has a concrete tank. We understand that MCAS is going to be looking to a concrete tank, but they're not there yet. So we could have been the first ones in the region. There were some benefits to it, but there was also some money associated with it was that we knew that was going to be 30 to 50% more on cost on just on concrete. So
The other tanks that we have, they're also.
say
steel.
again?
The other two tanks that we have, they're also steel.
Yes,
right?
they are steel. Yes.
Vice Mayor, if I may.
Sure.
And Councilman Galindo, just to answer your question on the tanks. The tanks were refurbished. They hadn't been looked at, maintained. It's been about, I think 1986 was the last time that we actually had emptied them out and went and repaired them. So we're hoping that the two new tanks that were rehabbed are going to last us a lot longer now because we actually emptied them out, went through them, welded and fixed up everything. But that was more of a maintenance, not a water consumption factor.
Yeah, and I do understand, but I do remember when we did that, they were comparing price of building a new one with bigger capacity. And that's what they told us. Oh, no, it's almost the same to just reconstruct this one. So, we should have built it back then 2-3 years ago with a bigger capacity, but so that was my question, 2-3 years. So that's why I'm saying 2-3 years. If it was 80 or 70%, how come they didn't say, okay, we need a bigger capacity? We should have choose to build a new one with a bigger capacity. I don't know if you remember, Carmen, when what's his name, Sam was here, and that was one of my questions. I said, if you're gonna reconstruct something, I'd rather build a new one that I know it's gonna give us 20-30 years more. But no, everybody decided, and I don't know what happened, but so it's kind of irritating, but knowing that we should have built a bigger one back then instead of now we're spending another 2 million. So it's something it wasn't you were not here, but it's something to look in the future. I would like to know, like you said, 80%, let us know we're getting to that capacity so we can start thinking or, doing whatever, like in the wastewater treatment plant. I know we built one 2009, 2008, and I know the capacity was for, I don't know how many millions, but so it's something to.
Council, Vice Mayor, if I may. And just to let you know, Councilman Galindo, Charles has actually been working with some different groups on, of course, we have the water and the water tanks, and we should be good for a while, where he's actually looking at evaluating the sewer plant, the wastewater. There's plenty of capacity still. I think we're at 40-50% there, but we still need to look at it so that as development comes, we can keep mayor and council updated to make sure that we're planning for that when it's time.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Vice Mayor, if I may.
Go ahead. Councilman Villalpando.
Charles, this is pretty much going to double our current capacity, correct?
Correct.
So it's pretty much safe to say, unless a major corporation that uses a lot of water, it'll serve twice the population at the current rate.
I would say that, Mr. Councilmember Villapando, this is about 1/3 of the entire capacity. Being that it's at 1.25, the first tank is at 1 million, second tank's at 1.2, this one's at 1.25. So it's going to be about 1/3 of the capacity. So about 33% that we'll have in storage for the future as time goes by. Hopefully, when we get to, like Councilmember Galindo says, hopefully within the near future, as we keep doing these master plans with the water side of it, it'll be able to identify when we get to the 50 to 80%, and we'll be able to say, yes, we need to pull the trigger for a new one, or whatever, what are our options?
Yeah, because and hopefully by then we have some information on these concrete tanks, especially if 2 other agencies are doing it. Because I think to piggyback on what Councilman Galindo was saying, is we also have to factor in the maintenance portion, especially once you have to refurbish these particular tanks, it could get a little pricey, so we might be better off spending the money now and doing the concrete versus doing another steel that will eventually have to be refurbished. But I guess it'll be nice to see what happens with the other ones for MCAS and YPG. Thank you, Charles.
Any other question? So Louis, for the motion, you said, go ahead with this.
Vice Mayor, we're requesting that you approve the motion to move forward with the contract and that Charles will work with finance and administration to come back to get approval from council for the remaining funds, which would be the
The
600,000, which I mean, offhand, we can tell you that, the 400,000 we didn't spend for the roundabout, that could be utilized towards this. And then we can look at impact fees or general fund monies to cover the rest. The good thing is we do have budget capacity for it. So.
Is there a motion? Motion by Councilwoman Gonzalez. Second by Councilwoman Delgadillo. All in favor?
Aye.
All against? Motion carries. Thank you, Charles. Moving on to summary of current events and future agenda items. Louis?
Vice Mayor, Chief Juarez wasn't able to be here. She had with her son, the opening of the schools, but she just wanted to share that first day of school went really well. If you were out there, all the PD or majority of the PD were all the schools, making sure that people were obeying the traffic laws and slowing down and being careful. So they'll continue to do that and keep an eye on that. And they're asking everybody just to make sure they take the extra time and precautions in the morning because traffic will be a little bit more congested with the schools and so forth. And then also Parks and Rec, her son was ill and she had to go. But she just wanted to share that we'll be sending out for the ribbon cutting. The lights for the skate park are finally in. It was monies from the Cocopah. So we'd like to do a little recognition for next week. I believe it's next Wednesday at 7, but we'll send out the invite to everybody this week to confirm. And hopefully we'll have representation from the Cocopah Nation there and thanking them for their funding. Also, I just want a quick update on economic development. We are starting to talk to the individuals that purchase properties. So we had a conversation with 4th Avenue Gym yesterday, and they're excited. They're working with us on the funds that were needed for the infrastructure, but they're also excited to get going on building a gym. One of the things they did mention was that the gym's going to be probably a little bit bigger than the one in the foothills. So we're excited about that. Their goal, their idea is to reach out to the county-wide to have people come to this gym. So we're definitely excited to have them come aboard. We have some other individuals that we'll be meeting with the Sunset Clinic and also the Fontaine Group for the strip malls. Those will be next, and hopefully that they'll start coming around. And then we're looking at the other properties. We've had some calls from some national chains interested. And also Marlene's working on for San Diego, the ICS for setting up meetings with different vendors and franchise and so forth. So that will be, I think it's later in October. So we'll let you know about that. And Charles, if you want to, Public Works.
Vice Mayor and Council. In the Streets Division, in a collaborative Somerton and Yuma County pavement rehab program, it was kicked off this week, actually today, this morning. Started out at County 17th Street, Cesar Chavez to Somerton Avenue. It's been repaved. Avenue D, Highway 95 to County 16.5 Street. This week, it should be paved on August 3rd. County 16th Street, Avenue B to A.5, possibly maybe Friday, but if not, Tuesday at the latest. Also, you saw in the social media platforms, the monsoon season sandbag program has kicked off last Friday. The sand is over there at Council Park at the southeast corner. It's been coned off. The bags are available at the Public Safety Building, the Parks and Rec office on Canal Street, and here on the second floor at Public Works office. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Vice Mayor, that's all we have, but I did want to make something, just point out something really quick on a previous question. The Sanchez Law Group for the check register, there's 3 or 4, they are the public defenders that Judge Torek assigns when we have indigent residents that can't afford representation. She assigns that. So what I'll do is I'll actually send out an update and provide those different groups that the judge uses. So you're familiar with them.
Okay, thank you.
That's all we have. Vice
Mayor, any
No, I don't have anything.
Councilmember Villalpando,
I don't have anything, Vice Mayor. Thank you.
Councilwoman Gonzalez, sorry.
Just to remind everybody that the next vaccine clinic is next week, next Thursday, August 10th, from 3 to 6, same time, same place at the Cultural Center. And I also want to thank Charles, I don't know if it was you or whoever it is on staff, our road over there, County 17, beautiful. We needed something over there. So thank you.
Councilman Castillo.
Well, I mean, I just want to thank staff that, our police staff that attended, our welcome back yesterday at our TDS school. And also, thank you for sending Vanessa to take pictures at a ribbon cutting yesterday at St. Andrew's School. Really appreciate it. Saw the pictures on our social media today. So that's awesome. And, that's all I have.
Councilwoman Delgadillo.
I concur. I also want to thank the Somerton PD for attending the Somerton welcoming of all our district staff and teachers, and also for being represented in the San Luis not the ribbon cutting, but the grand opening of our elementary school. It shows a lot of the unity that we have between the school district and the city. And so I really appreciate that as well. I attended the ribbon cutting for our new furniture store. However, I did have a question. We didn't have a ribbon cutting for the car dealer. So I was just wondering, what happened there. But I know there's a few others that are coming up. So thank you very much for the invite. And also I will be participating in the interviews for the finance director. So thank you, Armando, for sending me that invitation, and I look forward to participating. That's all I have.
Nothing, Vice Mayor. Thank you.
I had a chance to attend the mural, the ribbon cutting. It was really, really nice to see the outcome of that. Very fresh out there.
Yeah.
No, but I think, that's when you do that collaboration with other entities and, a good project comes out, and especially you have the kids, the ability so they can do that. It was, the vision, they have the schools, they have the city logo, they have the water tower, even the new high school logo. So it was nice to see that, and also Arizona at Work, to help with to pay, for the kids so they can help in those projects. And I think that, send a message to those kids. Hopefully they keep it like that, and we have other projects that they can help out. Also this morning I passed through TDS, and then I went through oh my God, Valle del Encanto, and then the new one. And yeah, there was police officers there, making sure everything, and it is nice to see kids out there again. I also went to the opening ceremony or opening school for the high school and lots of kids. Thank you. Please, I know Chief Juarez is not here, but let her know. Thank you for having the officers out there and keep the kids safe. I think we have nothing. So at 7:41, I call this meeting adjourned.